If you're thinking about relocating to Columbus or buying in the Columbus, Ohio market, and not sure if you can buy a house that's under 500K, because I'm sure you're seeing all the headlines of home prices rising, then you're gonna wanna stick around for this video. I'm gonna break down my 7 favorite suburbs within the Columbus area where you can still get a house under 500K that will suit your needs. So stick around and stay tuned. So starting off our list, we are going to dive into Gahanna. So Gahanna is just east of downtown Columbus, about 15 to 20 minutes east of downtown Columbus. It's well known for its amazing school district. It is a more established neighborhood. You're very close to shopping like Easton, and there's a ton of great parks nearby. I mean, the Creekside district is just one of the best charms of Gahanna itself. You know, a couple things that I would be, hesitant of if you were looking to buy in Gahanna, especially under 500K. Just know that, homes at that price point, they do move very quickly. So home prices in Gahanna have risen over the past couple years. So anything that's under 500K, it does move quickly. So make sure that you are set up to buy when you go to buy there. But also Hamilton Road can get very busy, along with, Morris Road. Those areas trying to get into neighborhoods that are a little further east of Gahanna can be a bit challenging, especially during the rush hour times. Some other things to be cautious of: if you are somebody who's looking for a brand new build, master plan community, this might not be the best suburb for you. Just as everything continues to push out away from Gahanna, there are some newer build communities, but they're few and far between. Second suburb on my list is Westerville. So Westerville is a very popular suburb in the Columbus market. And again, homes at that 500K price point or lower do move a bit quicker, but it is renowned for its school district. Uptown Westerville is one of the most charming areas in Columbus, in my personal opinion. There's so many great shops, restaurants, so much more in that area. So this would be a great fit for individuals or families who want that kind of charming hometown feel, close to water, close to parks. So you're like right by Hoover Reservoir, you're right by Alum Creek. And then you also have Enniswood and Sharon Wood Metro Parks at your fingertips. This might not be a great neighborhood for people who, are trying to commute downtown per se. I mean, it can be a little bit longer of a commute, especially if you live further north in Westerville, just trying to get to a major highway or get back home after rush hour. Traffic can get a little bit congested. Number 3 on my list is Hilliard. So Hilliard is one of those communities that, again, is becoming a very popular spot, especially for families because of their schools. And as they continue to build and develop the old Hilliard area, where you have Center Street Market, the Heritage Trail, various parks nearby in the Hilliard area. And you also have a ton of new home opportunities within the Hilliard market. So as everything continues to push west, because Hilliard is on the west side of the Columbus area, there is opportunity for you to move into a new construction home right at or maybe just a little bit below that 500K mark. But those home prices are continuing to rise in this area. So it does become a little bit more difficult per se if you want new construction, but pre-existing homes, there's definitely opportunity for you in this market. One thing I would say about Hilliard is if you are somebody who wants a very walkable downtown kind of feel, Hilliard might not provide that. Maybe a Westerville does, but they are continuing to build up that old Hilliard area. So being able to bike to that And if you are lucky enough to live close enough to it, you will have that feel. But just knowing which part of Hilliard might make the most sense for you is definitely something I would keep in mind. If you are somebody who does want a new construction home, number 4 is the suburb for you. And that suburb is Grove City. So Grove City is one of those neighborhoods that I personally don't think they get enough attention. There is just a lot of opportunity, especially for first-time home buyers or even move-up buyers, especially underneath that 500K mark, for you to get the most bang for your buck, in my opinion. They have the Broadway area downtown Grove City, so they're starting to continue to build that up, especially with the addition of Beulah Park that is just adjacent to that. And they're starting to, get some more mom and pop restaurants and starting to build at the rate that you see in maybe some of those northern suburbs of Columbus. So again, Grove City is just south of downtown Columbus. The nice thing about this community as well is you could be downtown within a matter of 10 to 15 minutes, depending on where you buy within this neighborhood. But if you are somebody who has to commute to the north side of the city for work, Grove City might not be the best fit for you. It just depends on how long you want to be in your car, especially if you're going to be driving during rush hour. It can take, upwards of 30 to 45 minutes to get home or get to work if you're looking to commute up to the northern part of the city. Next on my list for best suburbs under 500K would be Lewis Center. So there are definitely parts of Lewis Center that are well above that 500K mark, but Lewis Center is one of the top neighborhoods in Columbus for families, especially because of their school district, their community events, and they do have a ton of newer development and brand new homes as well. So that 500K range within this neighborhood itself can be quite competitive. So again, like I mentioned for Gahanna and Westerville, just make sure that you're well prepared to hit the market and to be in a competitive market for homes that are at that 500K or less mark, just because of it being such a desirable neighborhood. There is a ton of opportunity because there's been so much development there over the past several years to get into not a brand new community, but a newer community at that price point. But some things that I would be aware of if you're moving to Lewis Center or you would like to move there is there are a lot of communities, like I said, that have been built recently. So most of them will have HOAs. So if you are somebody who does not want an HOA or does not want to deal with that, just be aware that it might be a little bit trickier to find a neighborhood that might fit your needs at that price point that does not have an HOA. Number 6 on best suburbs under 500K would be Delaware. So Delaware is its own city, but it has slowly started to get engulfed by the Central Ohio market, especially the Columbus market. This is a great neighborhood if you're looking for an area that has a lot of historic charm, especially their downtown area. There's just so many older buildings. It does feel very like small town America, but you're so close to Columbus and everything that it has to offer. You have great parks and trail systems up here as well. The schools are also very decent, and there are a lot of restaurants that, especially have been in the Columbus market, are starting to move up into the Delaware market. So, one thing to keep in mind though, we have seen a lot of growth within the Delaware area, especially within the past couple years. So traffic is getting a little bit more congested up in that area. And it is a bit of a drive, especially if you are working near downtown, to get from Delaware to downtown with this traffic. So, you're looking at closer to 45 minutes. So if you are somebody who does not want to be in the car or has to commute downtown, this might not be the best suburb for you. But if you are somebody who wants to be close to a big city but still have that, small town feel, Delaware might be a great fit. Last but not least on my list is Canal Winchester. So Canal Winchester is in the southeast corner of the Columbus, Central Ohio area. It is a great neighborhood if you are somebody who wants just a little bit of a slower pace of life. It doesn't have as vibrant of a entertainment and food scene, but they do have a ton of community events. So if you do want that kind of small town feel and you want a newer home, you definitely have a lot of value purchasing within this community, enjoying those amenities, especially if you are looking for, like I said, that slower pace of life. It is still very close to Columbus, but one of the biggest drawbacks, in my opinion, of this neighborhood, or things that you should definitely be aware of, is getting in and out of Canal Winchester. So 33 can get very backed up during rush hour. So that would be one thing that I would be very mindful of if this would be a community that you would be interested in living in. But if you're somebody who works from home and don't need to travel downtown, this would be a great fit. And you are so close, especially in this community, to exploring everything that the southeast quadrant of Ohio has to offer. And one of my favorite things that it has to offer is Hocking Hills area. There's just a ton of hiking and nature down in that area. So you're so close to that. Less than an hour, you can be there. So that is one big draw for the Canal Winchester neighborhood. So I always tell my clients that there isn't one best suburb in Columbus, but there is the best suburb for you. So it really depends on what you're looking for in your next move, whether you want top ranked schools, maybe you're looking more towards that Westerville or Lewis Center, maybe you want the best value for your money, maybe you're looking down in Grove City, or maybe you just want a quieter pace of life. So looking at, Canal or Delaware, it just really depends on what you're looking for in your day to day. And I would be somebody who would be so happy to help you figure out what suburb is the best for you. So if you're thinking about moving to Columbus, or you currently live here and you're looking to buy, I would love to be that valued resource for you. As always, I put out videos every Friday on things to do in and around Columbus and just what it's like living here. So if that content resonates with you, please feel free to like and subscribe, follow along. If you want to set up a one-on-one meeting so I can fine-tune what might be the best place for you to live, please click that link in my bio. We can schedule a Zoom call, super easy, and we can start to begin this journey for you. So as always, my name is Nathan Klein. And until next Friday, I hope you all have a great week.